Friends, now we are going to discuss one concept, that is what is the role of method of accounting in the context of income tax. That means income tax, as you know, there are 5 heads of income, like salaries, income from house property, property and gains of business and profession, capital gains, and income from other sources. So method of accounting is relevant when you compute income specifically under 2 heads. One is profit and gains of business and profession. Second one is income from other sources. Okay, because we'll be computing income under these 2 heads by following a particular method of accounting. Tax law has not suggested any direct method. That's what you need to follow, how you are going to compute your business profit. Okay, only thing tax law has suggested, that if you are doing some business or you are engaged in some profession, then you first compute your profit by following a particular method that you usually follow. Then after that, certain expenditures may be disallowed or certain incomes may be added to it. Okay, that means some adjustment has to be made with that financial statement or with that income, so that profit and gains under that business or profession can be computed. Right. So the method of accounting is relevant so far as these 2 heads are concerned, PGPP and income from other sources. For other heads of income, method of accounting doesn't matter. The way you count it hardly matters, because how salary income will be computed, income tax law has clearly explained that salary income has to be computed in this manner. For example, you have to find out what is basic salary, what are various allowances, what are various perquisites, then what are the profits in lieu of salary. Like this, all these things has to be added. Then certain deductions, like standard deductions, taxes paid on employment, then entertainment allowances. This will be deducted. Then you'll be getting income from salary. Similarly, if you look at the next head, that is income from house property, it says you need to compute the gross annual value of the house property. You need to compute the net annual value of the house property. Then certain deductions will be allowed. You'll be computing income from house property. Okay. And if you look at the head capital gains, there you will understand that law has specified certain assets. The law had defined certain assets as capital assets. Okay. And there is also a definition of transfer. And if a capital asset is transferred, then there is a possibility of capital gain or capital loss. And these capital assets can be classified as long-term capital asset or short-term capital assets. So consequently, there might be long-term capital gain or loss, or short-term capital gain or loss. Okay. And computation methods is prescribed under that, under some relevant sections. You can see how to compute long-term capital gain, how to compute short-term capital gain. Consequently, taxes has to be paid. But under the head profit and gains of business and profession, this type of methods are not prescribed. You have to arrive at your business profit, then certain expenditures may be allowed, certain expenditures may be disallowed, certain incomes may be included, some particular because may be excluded from your total income. After doing some adjustment only, you'll be able to compute your tax liability. Now, friends, now, as I told you, this method of accounting, normally when you say method of accounting, we follow 2 methods normally. One is cash method, second is accrual method of accounting. When you say cash method, that means I have received my money, I'll be recognizing it as my income. And I'll be paying cash, that means cash is going out of my pocket. I'll be recognizing it as expenses. Okay, if I've received, that is my income, you paid, that is my expense. But under accrual system, what I follow, that means even if it is receivable, let us say I have sold some goods, but money has not been collected, but invoice is generated, goods are sold. So money is receivable from my debtor. That receivable amount is also my revenue. Similarly, let us say salary is payable, but I have not paid, but it's payable. Salary is due. It has already become due. It is to be paid, but I'm not paid. Still, that is my expense. This is called as accrual. Accrual. So some of you might be already aware of this. Understood? What is cash system of accounting? What is accrual system of accounting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, which system is relevant? Under income tax law, you can follow any method. You can follow mercantile method or cash method. Mercantile method means accrual system of accounting you are following. And cash method means only receipts are recognized as income only when they're realized. And expenses, when it is paid, then only they are recognized as expenses. Well, friends. Now, this method of accounting, either cash and accrual, is relevant for these two heads, PGBP and IFOS, as you have seen. But however, you have to remember one thing. You can follow cash method and accrual, there's no issue from income tax point of view. But if you refer to Companies Act 2013, for companies, cash system of accounting is not allowed. So if the assessee is a company, then there is no other go. He has to mandatorily follow accrual system. So cash system is not allowed for companies under the provisions of Companies Act 2013. Understood? If you can look at this picture, you can understand the mercantile system or cash system. Both the methods are allowed, but a company cannot follow cash system of accounting. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And in this context, we have to remember, we have to understand one more concept that is called as ICDS. Okay, ICDS stands for Income Computation and Disclosure Standards. From assessment year 2017-18 onwards, these standards have come and they need to be followed. That means when you are computing your income under these two heads, you need to follow this ICDS, Income Computation and Disclosure Standards. But some of you might be aware of accounting standards, the concept of accounting standards. The accounting standards are used for preparation of financial statements, right? For preparation of a balance sheet statement of profit and loss, cash flow, you follow this accounting statement. Similarly, for computation of income and showing relevant disclosures, this ICDS are relevant. So, under the provisions of section 2 of subsection 2 of section 145 of Income Tax Act 1961, central government has notified this income disclosure and income computation and disclosure standard, which needs to be followed for these two heads. As you can see, PGBP and IFOS. Okay, friends, please remember this ICDS is not required to be followed for the purpose of maintenance of books of account, but they're required to be followed for computation and disclosure of income. And law has also made clear, in case there will be any conflict between provisions of Income Tax Act 1961 and the requirements of ICDS, the provisions of Act shall prevail. Okay, provisions of Income Tax Act 1961 shall prevail over ICDS.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this concept also we need to keep in the mind. So I told you one thing, that we can compute our income under the head profit and gains of business profession and income from other sources by following any method. You may follow cash method and mercantile method, but in case as an assessee, if you are a company, then you don't have any choice. You have to follow mercantile method only mandatorily. Okay, and you may follow your own accounting standard to prepare your books of account, prepare financial statement, doesn't matter. Independently, you are allowed to follow that thing. But for computation of income, you have to follow income computation and disclosure standards. And in case you feel there is any conflict between Income Tax Act and the ICDS, then Income Tax Act will prevail. Is it clear? So you need to refer to the ICS, what kind of disclosures are required, how income needs to be computed. Okay, in appropriate time, you can refer to this ICS. These are available in the department's website. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any query you have?
No, sir.
Thank you.